to achieve respect and an environment that encourage art and culture to thrive for the benefit of our people so that we are not overcome by culture of others. We are being dominated by others. While we might appreciate them, this commission is about Bahamianization, which is the ultimate goal, Bahamian or nothing. We envision there will be numerous native shows, Bahamian clubs, Bahamian productions, television programs, films, books, and theater productions. We envision a national production showcasing the story of the Bahamas that runs either monthly or bi-weekly for every tourist touching our shores to view. We envision a world-class European-style review with a Bahamian theme, compatible to any renowned international review. We envision a thriving industry of display, teaching, and economic opportunity for those who are involved in the visual and performing arts field. We envision exposing and teaching the majority of art forms and cultural expressions to our citizens from preschool to the University of the Bahamas. We envision a hospitality industry extending Bahamian restaurants and cuisine throughout the world, and export of Bahamian-made products, foods, arts, and crafts. We envision that in some of the art forms, those artists will be civil servants, a requirement that I can remember from a child at the National Dance School, the great Vincent Sanders and Peter Bethel, all fought for this one idea, and I believe in this time it would finally come to pass, because I believe that some artisans can make a career of their talent as opposed to having to live in foreign countries because there's no opportunities to work in the Bahamas. And we envision the return of many of our sons and daughters of the soil to contribute to the building of our nation culturally, because the opportunity has now arisen.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Your Government in Action. Join us again next week. I'm Tammy Dean. Have a good evening.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, concerns mounting about a possible hike in food prices. Hurricane preparations underway in the West. And a suspicious death under investigation. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news, the anticipated economic fallout from the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine is expected to be felt right here at home. The conflict is into its 5th consecutive day, and countries around the world are bracing for the possible impact as it relates to escalating fuel and food costs. Here on Grand Bahama, Chief Price Inspector with the Department of Consumer Affairs, Reno Smith, is advising to prepare for price hikes.
The gas price increase will trickle all the way down to the food increase. That's why food production and food security is so important. The food suppliers, they will have to pay an increase in having the food products transported to them. That will be passed on to retailers. Retailers will then pass it on to consumers. Unfortunately, it's a domino effect or a chain effect. We will have to pay some more for food.
As it relates to breadbasket items, Smith tells us that those items are and should remain price controlled. However, items that are not under price control, that are often referred to as luxury items, will definitely see a price increase.
What I would suggest is that families get together and purchase food products in bulk and divide it accordingly. If you do your little bit by yourself, you're going to feel that. But as a family, if you and your family or a group of friends, an organization can, if you're unable to travel to the U.S., buy it here locally in bulk. It'll save you some money. But if you're able to, why not shop in the U.S. or wherever else you can in bulk and as a group, and you will see good savings.
And as mentioned earlier, this is day 5 of the crisis between Russia and Ukraine. There is heavy fighting and airstrikes across Ukraine with no end in sight. The Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, Obi Wilshcombe, commenting on the conflict, says the government has to keep a careful watch over what happens in the next few weeks to determine what extent the United States becomes involved, as it could have a direct impact on the Bahamas.
At the present time, it's just sanctions, so it might mean that we will not be affected as if they were actually involved in the war. And so we have to monitor. But insofar as the dollar shrunk generally. Inflation has caused that. Well, how do we stretch the dollar? How do we utilize, say, BAMSI? NBAIC, how do we cause our people to have access not only with the money they now have, but giving them additional assistance and allowing them to also get from BAMSI? And that would just make a difference because they'll get healthy food. It'll also help the economy because money will be spent locally and will help the farmers in the work that they're doing. So there are ways to do it. We're looking at it all, and we should be making some announcements soon.
Switching gears now, there is a little over 3 months remaining until the start of the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric is predicting 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, Obi Wilshcombe, says many homes in the Western District have yet to be repaired. In the wake of Hurricane Dorian, he says they are looking to help residents repair and prepare.
We're getting ready again for another hurricane season, and many homes have not been repaired.
93 days from today, February 28th, will be the start of the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season. The 2021 season was an active year with a total of 21 named storms, including 7 hurricanes and 4 major hurricanes. Fortunately, the Bahamas was spared from any major threats. And while many are still recovering from the most recent hurricane, the Minister of Social Services and Urban Development reports that some have yet to recover from storms dating back as far as 2004.
It's not just Dorian. We've had Francis, Jean, Wilma, Matthew. We've had Dorian, and we've had the pandemic. But many have not been able to get back on their feet from way back when. So let us find a way to do that. I think that's why we've seen the social dilemma we face in our country, because we keep thinking it's 1 or 2 years, and many people have not had a stability in their lives.
11,300 people are fed every month, and additionally, they are providing housing for more than 3,000. He says the focus at this time is getting homes prepared for the upcoming hurricane season and creating economic stability for residents.
There's so many people we find on the social service line looking for assistance. Many no fault of their own, just the circumstances. So what we have to do is we have to find ways to create opportunities, train them, place them in positions where they can go from being dependent to becoming independent.
And as the countdown to the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season begins, he urges all to be prepared. Here's to a quiet season. Well, ZNS News has learned that police on Grand Bahama are investigating a suspicious death. Reports say a woman died at her home on the Ridge area on Sunday after sustaining injuries to the body. Police are now awaiting the results of an autopsy to determine the exact cause of death. Also, police arresting an Abaco man for possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. The man was taken into custody while at a business establishment on Don McKee Boulevard in Marsh Harbor on Saturday night. Police say the suspect was among a group of men standing around a white Honda vehicle. Officers conduct a search of the man as well as the vehicle and reportedly found a Glock .40 pistol with a magazine containing 13 live rounds of ammunition in the Honda. An adult male was taken into custody. Investigations are continuing. Police also say they still need your help in locating two men wanted by the Criminal Investigations Unit. 26-year-old Stephanus Smith of Pinders Point is wanted for questioning on the charge of credit by fraud. Smith is 5 feet 10 inches tall, 200 to 220 pounds, dark complexion, medium build, dark brown eyes. Cabot Drive resident 32-year-old Stefano Perez Forbes, aka TV Head, is accused of assault with a deadly weapon. He is 5 feet 8 inches tall, 210 pounds, dark brown complexion, average build, and dark brown eyes. Police say Forbes should be approached with caution. If you know the whereabouts of Stefano Smith or Stefano Perez Forbes, you should call 352-1919 or the nearest police station. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news when we come back.
Come on down. Come on down now.
At Pizza Hut Freeport, you can enjoy 2 medium Pizza Hut one-topping pizzas, pan or thin crust, and a 2-liter Coke for just $23.05. Get your pizza your way for only $23.05.
Fact inclusive.
Pick your toppings and order today. Call Pizza Hut downtown at 352-9191 or Pizza Hut East Sunrise Highway, 373-8500. Pizza Hut Freeport.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with Z&S to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
Calling all residents and business owners on Grand Bahama, concerned about the state of our economy. Let's take a stand together this Friday, March 4th at 10 a.m. at D's Car Rental, number 2 West Small Drive.
Almost everyone will become a pedestrian at some point in time in their lives. Whether we're driving or walking, we all have a shared responsibility in knowing and following the rules of the road. Pedestrians should do their part by following traffic signals, using crosswalks or intersection, or by walking facing oncoming traffic if they must be on the road. And just like drivers should not be distracted, the same rule applies for pedestrians. Let us all do our part in making pedestrian safety a priority. After all, it's about creating safer communities. I am WPC 3428 Bean of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Traffic Division, Grand Bahama.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Reach Out Youth Organization and the Powerhouse Fitness Gym have joined forces to launch a mentoring program called Let's Save Our Youth. The opening ceremony took place this past Saturday at the Reach Out Community Center. The launch was also a mini job fair and a registration drive for those seeking employment. The Let's Save Our Youth mentoring program will offer youth counseling, suspension center, prison ministry, after-school assistance, computer classes, youth workshops, sporting programs, field trips, a feeding program, and job placement. Program Assistant Director Omar Isaacs says they have seized the opportunity to adapt to the current employment issues in Grand Bahama. According to their research, there are thousands of jobs that can offer day labor wages.
Between Dudley State's Reach Out Youth Organization and my team at BuyBohemian.biz, we have a vast network of contacts, many of whom on a weekly basis need access to well-skilled and honest day workers to take lunch orders at their home kitchen, to deliver meals, to dig ditches, to mix mud at a construction site, to offload a 40-foot container at a retail store, or to fill in as a handyman at the hundreds of Airbnbs we have across this island.
Dudley Said, president of the Reach Out Youth Organization, telling supporters that he nearly lost everything when he started the organization. And now, many years later, they're expanding the organization into West End, Pinders Point, and 8 Mile Rock.
We're going to take this to the length and breadth of Grand Bahama. What's been happening every time someone need help, they will come in to Reach Out Youth Organization in Freeport. But we're going to put a team together to take this organization, take this message throughout Grand Bahama. We're going to be launching in March 11th in 8 Mile Rock.
While applauding the work of the Reach Out Youth Organization, the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe, Minister of Social Services, Urban Development, and a Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, was surprised that the Reach Out Youth Organization is not on the government's grant program for NGOs, and he pledged to change that.
And so, Dudley, we're going to fix that problem. That is my responsibility, and I'm responsible for the grant, so I can tell you, you will get a grant. Because the work that you're doing, you're partnering with me to make a difference in this country. This is Grand Bahama. This is my home. And every single day I'm appalled, I'm angered, because I know we can do much better. I know we have to work together to change the circumstances. And if we do it together, yes, we can make a difference.
Also commending the organization for its work, Senator Kirkland Russell believes that the mentorship program is in line with the government's mandate to develop the true potential of the nation's youth.
We must unite as a community to join stakeholders in this island-wide holistic effort to save our young men by giving them the opportunities, the essential life skills, and the hope they deserve to build a bright future. Let's get behind this initiative and remember that our support is needed to bring about the change we want to see in our youths.
Now Said thanks supporters and is appealing for their continued prayers. Congratulations to the Reach Out Youth Organization. While the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated Grand Bahama Alumni Chapter continuing their efforts to stop domestic violence against women. During a recent forum, anger management consultant Dr. Eric Fox, who counsels young men, shared how he uses the Coming Clean approach as a key component in the rehabilitation program.
In the whole 6 months of counseling, they have one time to talk about their girlfriend, their wife, or their spouse, whoever, one time to talk about it. And the rest of the counseling is talking about them. We teach them how to pay attention to their feelings. A lot of adults don't know how to separate what they think from what they're feeling. They say things like, oh man, I feel this person don't love me. Or I feel this person don't like me. That's not a feeling. That's a thinking. And if violence is a form of communication, then we need to retrain these young men how to be angry and not respond with violence.
A domestic abuse victim who is now a counselor shared her story, noting that the impact of violence against women is lasting.
It leaves women traumatized. It leaves women feeling as though, as she said, like, you know, you can't go on. You don't know where to start. because it goes even so far as the money being taken away from you. So you have no authority, you've lost all ability. It's almost to protect oneself, they assume a learned helplessness sort of mentality. And that is to make sure that they survive. And so as a counselor, when people come and say, well, what do you tell someone who's in the throes of domestic violence? I say, you don't ever say, girl, you should leave him. Because most women are killed when they're trying to leave the relationship. That has to be planned. That has to be methodical. They have to know where they're going. They have to know they have a safe haven. And to this day, we still don't have shelter for women. There are warning signs: using drugs, alcohol, having weapons. You see them engaging in violence with their friends. You go out, someone speaks to you and they're upset, extremely jealous. These are warning signs.
In other news, she is a Turks Islander who grew up in the Bahamas and now she's making a name for herself in the tourism industry. Our Jamila Mizik talks with Mama, as she is affectionately called, about her journey to success.
Hi, I'm Elena Patrick. I'm Mama number 1. Charles Williams, I'm Mama number 2. And we are the Mamas.
Mama's Gift Shop is a household name in the Turks and Caicos Islands, specifically in Providenciales. The souvenir shop is ran by 2 sisters, Elena and Chalice, who both were born in Turks and Caicos but grew up in the Bahamas.
In the early 60s, we had a mass migration where Turks and Caicos Islanders went to Bahamas. My mom was one of those persons who went and took us as children down there. So we went to 8 Mile Rock School, secondary school, and I was graduated in 1976 from Grand Bahama Catholic High School.
Mama's Gift Shop has been in operation at the Port of Call since 1995. Elena explains how the business was started.
This is a dream from my mom. In 1992, my mom encouraged me to come to Turks and Caicos. And she was to come and be with me, you know, but it didn't happen because she got sick, and in 1994 she passed. But so I came, and so I kept the dream alive. And in 1995, I decided, well, I'm going to open the store. And because she wasn't here and it's her dream, I decided to name it Mama's. I was one of those persons who actually opened the mall with the store, 400 square feet of space, and now I have 1,200 square feet of space. And this place has been good to me. It sent my son to university, my sister kids to university, and whenever we have any perils in Bahamas, my family, we dare to help one another.
The sisters say they grew up in the straw market in Freeport, which is where they developed their entrepreneurial spirit. They say Turks Islanders and Bahamians have a rich history.
We were one country, and because of politics of the salt, we got separated where we became two separate countries. So that's why you find a lot of Turks Islanders actually have Bahamian name, and we have, and Bahamian have Turks Island name because we were one.
And Elena is making this appeal to Bahamians with Turks Island roots.
Every Turks and Caicos Islander who's sitting down in Bahamas and don't have a job, wondering how to pay the light bill. Now, let me say this. If you're over 60, if you're 60, stay home. But my mom went down there at 46.
44.
My sister say 44. She made a difference. She built a house. She schooled us. We were educated down there. So I would say if you're 20 to 44 and you're not doing well, come to Turks and Caicos. Our workforce is 30% native and 70% expats. You can be a part of it. And remember, your vacation is not completed until you shop at Mama's.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Beautiful. And now it is time for your Monday evening sports report with Jay Philippe.
morning, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. It was a busy weekend in sports, but just in case you missed the action, guess what? We have some highlights. The Bahamas senior men's national basketball team played in the second window of the FIBA World Cup qualifiers this weekend in the Dominican Republic in back-to-back games. The Bahamas won Game 1 on Saturday, 86-74 against the Virgin Islands. Team Bahamas was led by Willis Mackey, who scored 25 points and grabbed 10 rebounds. Michael Thompson chipped in with 19 points and dished out 5 assists. Also scoring in double digits was Denra Chicken Knowles and Tavares Miller, who scored 14 points and 12 points, respectively. In Game 2, the Dominican Republic rumped up an emphatic 90-65 victory over the Bahamas and punched their ticket to the second round of the 2023 FIBA World Cup Americas qualifiers. Team Bahamas jumped to an early lead in the first quarter behind an all-around playmaking of Travis Munnings and Tavares Miller scoring punch, but 18 turnovers and poor outside shooting 5 of 23 from downtown ended up sinking their chances of pulling off the upset. Munnings finished with 16 points, 9 rebounds and 6 assists, while Miller finished with 14 points. Chicken Knowles had 12 points, and Michael Thompson scored 10. Sticking with hoops action on the college level, Abaco product DeAndre Vilma and his Rohan team rallied from a 19-point second-half deficit, but Stockton was able to hold on to the final minutes and earn a 95-91 win in the NGAC Men's Basketball Championship game.
This is the season overall. It went better than expected. We finished 23-5. We finished second in the conference. The team we lost to was number 1 in the conference. You know, it is a good team, well coached, and they've been together for a few years. This was our first year with all us playing together. We had a lot of transfers because my team settled last year, you know, and a lot of people leave. So I feel like it went way better than expected. I had, you know, there was up and down seasons with me just being back playing basketball after taking that time off, but I had my special moments and I had fun. You know, I just thank God just I was back. And next off season, you know, we're just going to get in the gym, get better, so we come back next year and win it all this time.
Switching gears now in track, Colonique Farrington had an outstanding performance for her Southwest Baptist University Bearcats at the GLVC Indoor Championships on the weekend. The former Tabernacle Falcon placed second in the women's 400-meter dash and second in the 200-meter dash. Both of those top 3 placements helped Farrington earn Freshman of the Year. And finally in sports, Laquan Chump Ellis also had an impressive showing on the track as well at the high school level in Lakeland, Florida. Chump won and PR'd in all of his events and will now prepare for the Junior Olympics scheduled from March 11 through the 13th in Virginia Beach. The Bimini product leaped 23 feet 8 inches in the long jump, which ranks him 5th in the country. In the 200 meters, Ellis ran 22.65 seconds to run away with the gold in that event. And he also won the boys 110 hurdles in a time of 15.14 seconds. And that's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
We have safely protected your lives, assets, and aspirations for over 100 years. That's a lot of protection. At BAF, we know that our commitment to you goes beyond a policy or an investment. It's a commitment. Find out how to grow with us. And if you are already with us, find out how we can help you grow even more. Because when you choose BAF, we are with you for life.
Be mindful that criminals are looking for a safe target. We would like to assist you in not becoming a victim of car theft. Do not leave your keys in the ignition of your vehicle unattended. Please ensure that your vehicle is properly locked and secured. In addition, do not park your vehicle in a poorly littered area.
This message is brought to you by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, creating safer communities.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Jameen Holness, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do invite you to stay tuned, though, as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Communications section of the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training in conjunction with this channel.
Hey, Shelly, what you saying, gal? I see you in a minute.
Yeah, I good. Give me 1 minute, let me take this call. Hello? Listen here, y'all need to stay from out that yard there and hurry up and clean the house before I get back. Goodbye. Sorry about that, gal.
Man, the gal that's your children you talking to? Why they didn't rush you at school? It's 11:45 in the morning. What happened? They ain't get no class today?
Shelly, one thing, but you always up in people's business. Listen here, I'm fortunate like you. I can't afford one device, let alone 3. Then the internet is be in and out and thing. They ain't dead. They don't learn nothing on them computer, no way. The ministry need to open school back up face to face.
Gal, if you wasn't bigger than me, I would have cut your behind. First of all, I don't have it no better than you. The difference is, I can do what I need to do to make sure my children get their education. You think I rich? Gal, carry yourself and go to that school and tell them the children need their device. And internet off and on? That ain't no excuse. You know how much place around here the church and thing will let you use their space? And gal, stop talking fool. Because I know you got family who the children could go by. Ain't nobody tell me that. I know that. Miss, get serious here before you ruin your children's life.
Shelly, like I say, you always up in people's business. But anyway, okay.
This public service announcement was brought to you by the Communications section of the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training in conjunction with this channel.
What you see on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, and programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcasted by this television station. The code is available on IRCA's website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the national report, the labor minister weighs in on the Ukrainian refugee crisis. Thousands of dollars invested into B-Docs, a fresh start for young eligible Bahamians, and Bahamas goes 1-1 in FIBA play. The Bahamas tonight, the national report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapindo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for joining us. Regional heads to meet for the first time in 2 years tomorrow for the 33rd intersessional meeting in Belize. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis is already there, making his first official appearance at the high-level discussions. The Prime Minister's contingent, who left the country yesterday, comprises Foreign Affairs Minister the Honorable Fred Mitchell, Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, Bahamas High Commissioner to CARICOM, Her Excellency Leslie Miller Bryce, and Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, John Pinder II. Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Clint Watson, talks about some of the issues on the power-packed agenda.
Regional heads will discuss some of the burning issues, such as climate change. Bahamas is expected to take the lead in that discussion as Prime Minister Davis talks about some of the interventions that should happen in the region and what the Bahamas is doing as we lead in this mandate. There's also discussions that are going to take place about Ukraine. Prime Minister says we can't avoid it. We have to be able to talk about what's happening between Ukraine and Russia and how that will impact the region, particularly tourism, which brings us to the next point. The Bahamas is, of course, the chairperson for the Special Subcommittee on Tourism, and Prime Minister Davis is expected to talk about the regional position of tourism and what the Bahamas is doing as a leader in the region and what works for us. We'll also talk about COVID-19 here at the conference.
Well, prior to Russia's invasion, the Caribbean community called for calm, an appeal that escalated for a return to diplomacy. With each day, tensions increase further between Russia and the Ukraine, grabbing the attention of not only the superpowers, but developing states, some of whom share bilateral agreements with the Russians. When questioned by reporters if the issue will be discussed at CARICOM, here's what Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett had to say.
That may arise. It is not an issue that is currently on the agenda, but it is a matter that the community has been discussing and has been making pronouncements on, particularly through the statements that we issued.
Now, as mentioned, what is on the agenda is the impact of COVID, with a focus on economic recovery, the Caribbean single market and economy, of which the Bahamas has long opted out, climate change, and resolving Haiti's deep-seated challenges. Despite many of the issues making a return to the table year after year, Dr. Barnett expressed confidence there will be tangible outcomes as Caribbean heads have a desire, and there is the expectation to do so. Furthermore, she says there has to be continued talk in order to agree on the action to be taken.
Critically, the issue of agriculture on the agenda, we are expecting progress on that. The key objective there is to place the community in a position to reduce the import of food into the community, taking into consideration the fact that the pandemic and the disruption of shipping caused some uncertainty about food supply, and therefore we expecting that heads will make even more progress in terms of crafting a response to stimulate agricultural production across the community. There is also on the table, of course, the expectation that heads will hear progress in the area of the reduction of roaming rates across the region, particularly the East Caribbean. We're going to be finding out where we are on that.
Well, meantime, Eastern Europe's growing humanitarian crisis is getting worse by the minute as more than 360,000 Ukrainians flee their home, according to the United Nations, as the war rages between Ukraine and Russia. While at its shortest distance, the Ukraine sits nearly 10,000 kilometers from the Bahamas. Minister of Labor and Immigration, the Honorable Keith Bell, today weighed in on the situation as Ukrainians seek safety in countries like Poland, Romania, and Hungary.
Well, it's unfortunate that that incident is taking place,
The fortunate part is we are a significant distance away. And so I would just say, we pray for the Ukrainians, and we hope that they don't end up in a situation worse than what it is. But for us here in the Bahamas, we have our own challenges. And so, as Mr. Benabe indicated, we're working very, very quickly to ensure swift repatriation exercise, and we're going to continue to do it to make sure we send a very clear message that we will not tolerate irregular migration.
Well, a purported social media video which alleges to present Russian President Vladimir Putin issuing threats against the Bahamas is being described by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as fake news. Foreign Affairs officials maintain that the context of the video was maliciously edited to mislead the view that there are absolutely no threats against the Bahamas from Russia. A Foreign Affairs release appeals to the public to refrain from circulating the video and immediately report it to police upon receipt. Meanwhile, National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, today responded to questions about the proximity of any threat, nuclear or otherwise, to the Bahamas as the Russian assault against the Ukraine continues.
Sometime last year, there were 2 Russian nuclear bombers in Venezuela. But if you talk about the release of nuclear weapons, there's very little that you can do here to address that. And we don't have any here to respond. I don't have a clue what one would want to target in the Bahamas. You reach the point where mischievous people have nothing better to do than to sit down and create these things. There are no U.S. nuclear weapons here as far as we're aware. If there are going to be nuclear strikes, one would wonder why somebody would target the Bahamas, and persons just need to stop getting up to mischief.
Well, meantime, that probe involving a number of outstanding matters at the Bahamas Department of Corrections progresses. Among them, what led to the administrative leave of then Commissioner of Corrections Charles Murphy, and the number of officers apparently also sent on leave during his tenure.
They've finished the general gathering of information. We've reached the point now for the appointment of the independent committee, and I hope to be taking a paper to Cabinet on that for approval to appoint them so they can get to reviewing it. I don't think anything is served by waiting, because more and more people come in who say they were sent home unjustly, but there's no point of waiting till you're sure you have everyone. We just go with what we have.
Other important changes in place at the Department of Corrections, including new equipment, technological advances, and attitudes toward prison reform. The U.S. Embassy donating $300,000 worth of detection and communication equipment today as the correctional facility prepares for a major expansion. Here's Keishla Adderley.
A high-medium security prison compound proposal will soon be before Cabinet as the government looks to further steer the Bahamas Department of Corrections into a rehabilitative institution. Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Munro, on the plans.
The cells will be prefabricated 2-ply steel cells from a company in the United States of America. They've already presented to the ministry. The ministry and the government have already sent a team of public officers over to inspect the production line of that company and to inspect 2 prisons actually built and delivered by that company. It is time in the Bahamas that we move from the 1950s to the 21st century, and is our objective in short order to do just that.
Minister Munro was at the prison compound today to receive $300,000 worth of surveillance equipment from the U.S. Embassy. He conceded that prison reform must include corrections to a series of criticisms repeatedly cited in the U.S. Human Rights Report. U.S. Chargé Yusha Pitts on the donation.
This equipment will support the ministry's ongoing efforts to modernize the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services and support Minister Munro's vision for this facility as a rehabilitative institution that respects the human rights of its prisoners, operates in an efficient and transparent manner.
The new prison block will comprise a 3-story, $35 to $40 million investment. The construction will also include these progressive features.
It'll have to take into account the government's project on policy on renewable energy. So it will have to have solar photoelectric cells on the roof. And it will basically be one that all the contraband you see that they would have hidden in their cells. The steel cells don't permit you to dig and hide anything in them at all because they're just plate steel.
These contraband, including cell phones, chargers, earpieces, weapons, even drugs, were found for the most part in the medium security prison. Surveillance has significantly reduced that, so much so that the price of drugs that is managed to be smuggled in has quadrupled. Now the attention is turned to the new mode of smuggling.
What people are doing now, they're now driving by around the perimeters and throwing contraband over the wall. I'm in hopes that the inmate or whoever staff may be involved retrieve the drugs or cell phone.
The commissioner has already sent requests for CCTV cameras for the perimeter. Last week we had a meeting with a presentation for AI technology. So the person should know that if you slow down, you throw it over the wall, we will see your license plate number and we will come and get you. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but we will come and get you.
Keishel Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Well, as indicated earlier, illegal migration still very much a challenge for the Bahamas, with the Deputy Director of Immigration, Dwight Benaby, reporting that more than 100 migrants were recently apprehended at sea. Benaby says migration trends remain largely unchanged, although the early months in a year tend to be busy time. Consequently, the department is working on speeding up the time it takes to repatriate migrants. This as 50 of them are being detained at the Jamaica Road Detention Center.
I just was speaking with Commander Brown from the Defense Force, and they just said that, well, they apprehended 150 somewhere in the southern Bahamas, but that's to be confirmed. So I guess at some point late in the day, we haven't seen any tremendous drop-off in the arrivals of nationals. What we're trying to do in any event, once we get them, see how quickly we can turn around their repatriation, because, I mean, as you know, that it's not really a cheap or an inexpensive venture to house and feed these individuals. And given the current pandemic, you know, we're being mindful of the health of our officers and indeed the health of the detainees. So that guides what we do now with those persons.
Well, still to come, COVID cases and hospitalizations continue to decline and the opportunity for a fresh start. We'll be back after the break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
A lot has changed over the past 60 years. But at Commonwealth Bank, our mission to build lifelong relationships with our clients remains the same. Our customers are more than just a number. Our customers are our family, and together we create banking solutions that fit your unique needs. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast, with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Since eating at KFC, Shanika became the new savings meme. Get a KFC Mega Mash Bucket Meal with 8 pieces of tender, juicy chicken, a Mega Mashed Potato with gravy, and 4 buttery biscuits, starting at only $20, including VAT, and save like an expert at KFC. Order on WhatsApp at 557-3663. KFC Nassau.
We believe in relationship banking. We take pride in getting to know our client.
You have access to knowledgeable, approachable ambassadors and financial coaches so that we can recommend the best product for you. At Fidelity, we care about you. From your financial health to your physical health, we can relate to you because we're just like you. Come and start your relationship banking experience with us today. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Visit any of our branches in Nassau or Grand Bahama, or phone 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Every journey starts with the first step, and mine starts here. I believed in Tokyo, the belief that we could be the best. We are drenched in Bahamian pride, no matter where we go. In 5 years, Alive built the Bahamas' best network, delivering faster speeds and stronger connections to all 700 islands and keys. Alive believed that every Bahamian deserved a world-class network and excellent customer service. I am proud to be Director of Speed and Connection.
Is total class. Look at her go. What a win.
As we continue to improve our lightning-fast, world-class network and connect with art, culture, and the world around us, never stop dreaming and never stop believing.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited. If it's healthcare, it's here.
Health and Wellness Minister, the Honourable Dr. Michael Darwalds, tonight condemning the production of fake vaccinated cards. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has learned that some printing companies and other entities that produce cards have been fraudulent, producing vaccination cards that purports the card holder's been vaccinated in countries abroad. These cards also falsely assert that they've been legitimately issued by Bahamian authorities. A release confirming that the Bahamas has no authorization to issue vaccination cards on behalf of another country. Persons found in possession or producing these cards are guilty of an offense relating to the false printing of documents. Health officials adamantly advise these card holders to destroy them immediately. Printing companies or other entities are also ordered to stop producing these cards or risk facing legal consequences. Well, COVID hospitalizations down in the teens, 18 to be exact. Still, the vast majority of the sick listed as moderately ill, while just 2 are being cared for on the intensive care unit. That's one at the Princess Margaret Hospital, the other at Grand Bahama Health Services. Also noteworthy is the fact that February 27th's dashboard shows just 6 new infections, 5 here on New Providence, 1 on Grand Bahama. We're now at a countrywide total of 33,135. 2 of the New Providence residents show a history of travel within 14 days. Meantime, no one recovered from the virus on Sunday. As for tests, 287 RT-PCR tests were completed, just 1 a repeat. Well, after nearly a 2-year hiatus, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's Fresh Start program is back. Over the next 16 weeks, several young Bahamians will gain new skills that will prepare them for the job market. Here's LaDawn Davis.
Andre Minus and Rakesh Culmer are among the 40-plus Bahamians expected to undergo intense training in various sectors over the next 16 weeks as part of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's Fresh Start program. These young Bahamians are excited about participating in this new adventure.
It was my intent to be able to further my skills, be able to further my education, be able to further my career as a person, make myself more marketable. It's very hard for these opportunities to come by now these days. And once you don't have that scholarship in place, you have to strap and claw and fight your way through for every opportunity that comes by.
For being a part of the Fresh Start program, it's my first time. And I look forward to learning and developing at the end of the program. I would love to have my own business.
Youth Officer Shonda Roberts says she couldn't wait to be in the presence of the participants and is hopeful for a successful program.
We tried Zoom for 2020 and realized that it did not work. I want to admonish you and encourage all of you to embrace the opportunities that will lie in the front of you. Our minister, our honorable minister, and our PS has dedicated, or they've committed to $2,500 to each of you. And you will be trained in various skills, including beauty trades, culinary and baking, office procedures and web design, and of course, mixology.
Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, says he can identify with the participants' experiences and explained why this program is so significant.
The whole purpose of this program was to allow students like yourself to have that opportunity to be able to be productive citizens in this country and be able to have affordable employment that will allow you to take care of yourselves and your family. I've been there, done that, seen it happen. But the road to success is not easy. It's a hard hill to climb. And I'm a testimony of that. But if you believe, half of believing is success. Once you believe in what you want to do, you automatically gain that success.
LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
Well, on the issue of learning new skills, the Bahamas Christian Council's recently launched training initiative seeks to ensure counselors execute their jobs more effectively.
I know sometimes you hear me say this and people don't quite understand that there are pastors that are being asked to intervene in domestic violence and domestic situations and other circumstances. And unless we have trained Christian counselors, that it's difficult for a pastor to intervene if they're not prepared and they're not been trained. And I'm saying to us, we have a number of areas of drug intervention, we have gambling intervention. We've got to see the value in these programs and want to do it. And it is my hope that before I demit office, that this program can be in place. We can have professional Christian counselors.
According to BCC President Apostle Delton Fernando, once someone is certified as a Christian counselor, he or she can also help train others.
It's different from a secular counselor. We want them to go and be trained in Christian counseling and come back and train leaders and pastors and then have a site like the secular where people will man the phone, people will provide the counseling, and that would be undergirded by a grant.
7 women lauded for their years of contribution to the church community of Zion Yamakura Baptist this past Sunday. The honor made at the church's 2nd annual Women and White celebration. It's a service set on honoring women who apparently exhibit a great deal of strength and courage. Among the service's attendees, wife of the Prime Minister, Anne-Marie Davis, who praised the women for years of self-sacrificing service.
You are examples of womanhood, motherhood, and leadership. And I have no doubt that these 7 exemplary mothers selected from among you for honor possess the same qualities: the leadership, the inner strength, the virtues, and the fortitude of these biblical luminaries.
Davis also encouraged women around the country, whom she describes as the pillar of the nation.
While personal circumstances can be wide-ranging today, one thing is for sure: women are resilient and courageous. The strength of a woman is not measured by the impact that all her hardships in life have had on her, but the strength of a woman is measured by the extent of her refusal to allow those hardships to dictate to her and decide who she becomes.
And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
Anything you need, we got you covered. Say the word and we'll come through. So if you need coverage for life, choose BAF, they'll get it right. Just go out and do it. It's your life, so just live it. So anything the best choice. BAF, that's BAF for life.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
At Bank of the Bahamas, we give you lots of reasons to love your life. We offer the lowest rates in the country on debt consolidation and consumer loans. And we help you save with our low-rate switch mortgages. Need a new car? Simply apply for a BOB auto loan and hit the road. And shopping is so easy with BOB credit and prepaid cards. It's time to live and laugh again. Love the life you live with BOB, your bank of solutions.
We get it. Life happens. And when it does, Easy Payday is here for you. Whether it's cash for school fees, a vacation, or even a loan consolidation, no matter what your needs are, we are here for you when you need us most. Eligible applicants can borrow up to $15,000. Visit us at our new location on University Drive. Give us a call at 603-0200 or apply online at easypayday.loans. Easy Payday loans are simple, fast, and easy.
AID has everything you need and more to complement your home's decor. Luxurious bamboo bath towels, face towels from $1.25 and bath towels from $5.45. Shower curtains from $2.54 and organizers in stylish finishes. Bath mat sets from $7.27 in a multitude of styles and colors. Bed sheet sets from $9.95 and 7-piece comforter sets from $49.95. Doormats from $1.93 with matching runners and hundreds of area carpets. Sofa covers from $19.95, plain and crushed sheer curtains from $5.25 and thousands of panels to choose from. Blinds from $7.02 and curtain rods from $2.89. Ceramic and porcelain dishes, tablecloths, napkins, placemats, utensils, and more. A wide selection of drinking glasses, including elegant stemware, candle holders, vases, and crystal. Full-size mirrors, decorative pictures, and picture frames. AID, Wolf Road, and the Mall at Marathon open late and on Sundays to serve your decorating needs. AID, all you really need and more.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Police reacting to that disturbing viral video making the rounds on social media over the weekend. The 2-minute clip showing a woman standing over an elderly lady seated in a black vehicle, wherein the younger woman appears to rough handle and abuse the passenger at various points. Well, police say the footage has been brought to their attention, but they've yet to receive a formal complaint. Police press liaison Superintendent Audley Peters says they're looking for the perpetrator behind the altercation to come forward, so as authorities can open an official investigation.
All assault crimes are punishable by law, to a fine or an imprisonment. And so we admonish individuals who are aware of persons who are being abused, whether they are elderly, whether they are children, whether they are spouses in domestic relationships, to report those matters to the police so we can have them dealt with and perhaps find some counseling or mediation for parents, for families in situations like this.
We turn our attention now to news from the courts. The Court of Appeal has overturned the conviction and sentence of appellant Dwayne DaCosta, who was accused of unlawful sexual intercourse with an underage girl. However, the girl stated during the trial that the appellant did nothing sexual to her. The defense then noted that DaCosta did not have a case to answer, and the Crown agreed. However, they submitted that it was up to the court to put an alternative charge of indecent assault and abduction to the jury. Now, while the judge agreed that DaCosta did not have a case to answer for unlawful sexual intercourse, she sided with the prosecution that DaCosta had a case to answer for indecent assault and abduction. DaCosta was then convicted of such, but he appealed. After hearing from both sides, the Court of Appeal quashed the conviction and sentences without ordering a retrial. This after the panel ruled, among other things, that it is unfair to present an indictment to an accused person, go to trial, then at the end of the prosecution's case, depending on the evidence, new charges are laid without giving the defendant the ability to plead to them. In environment news this evening, the Bahamas National Trust is continuing its mandate of restoring parts of the environment damaged by Hurricane Dorian 2 years ago. Crystal Darling has this update.
They're quite a sight to behold, stretching far and wide across the waterfront. But that's not just for show. Mangroves are also on the front lines when hurricanes come, holding off powerful storm surge. Bahamas National Trust Senior Science Officer Lindy Knowles says that various community partners assembled months after the storm initially hit to replant the mangroves in the Northern Mangrove Restoration Project that to this day has seen almost 100,000 mangroves restored.
They were able to start consolidating mangroves from areas that were alive, bringing in from other islands, bringing in from other countries like Florida, well, the U.S. and Florida, putting them together, growing them in a greenhouse for a bit, and then on these very strategic days going out and planting tens of thousands of mangroves. And they do this multiple times a year. So I would imagine since the start of the project, it has been maybe the 9th or 10th planting that's taking place. In fact, there's one taking place in Abaco today and tomorrow. And I think they're looking to plant about 12,000 mangroves there as well.
These powerful plants thrive on swamp land, with their pronounced roots firmly planted underground. However, the mangroves were no match for the 2019 Category 5 Hurricane Dorian, which tore through Grand Bahama and Abaco, uprooting up to 95% of these plants in some areas.
The time it took for Hurricane Dorian to pass over the islands, I think it was like 1 mile an hour for that day during a particularly high tide. And so those islands, like much of the Bahamas, particularly the Pine Islands, are half hilly side, half mangroves. So when you accounted for the amount of mangroves lost on those islands, it was a substantive loss.
Knowles explains how mangroves are a natural benefit to islands.
Anywhere that has a seawall, when the winter storms come, the water just comes straight onto the road. But areas that have, substantive rock, revetment, or any kind of plant life, you get nearly as much water on it. So the mangroves in those systems help to buffer the storm. Now, unfortunately, the storm they were facing was one of the most intense, but on flat lands like Abaco and Grand Bahama, a 24-foot storm surge pretty much whips through wherever it wants to go. If they weren't there, and that storm water had come at full force 24 feet into the island, it would have been significantly worse.
Knowles says that their goal is to plant somewhere between 100,500 to 200,000 mangroves. Crystal Darling, ZNS Network News.
Well, it's practically that time again when we spring forward. The Cabinet Office advising today that daylight saving time will begin at 2 a.m. on Sunday, March 13th and run until Sunday, November 6th. And if you don't know, clocks spring forward so people can get as much daylight and sun as possible. Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There is more after the break.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love.
better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investment and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, details that equity within the tourism industry is essential during a walkabout of Cabbage Beach.
Well, we wanted to see what was happening here. This is a place where people make a living. We want to ensure that there's equity in our tourism industry. There are big hotels here, but we want to ensure also that the vendors are able to put food on their table, and therefore it's important to us that there's an orderly system. And that's why it was key for us to come. We've been working along with the associations here. We've been speaking with the property owners, Atlantis and Rio and others, about some of the challenges that they've faced here. And we've had a lot of concerns, mostly expressed by vendors, and we want the system to work.
He reiterated the significance of the beach walkabout and stated that he and his team were present to hear all concerns.
So it's important to us that Bahamians can make a living, that they can put food on their table, feed their families, create a better life for their children. And this is, by and large, how many vendors across the country send their children to college and provide for their families, build homes, and it's important to us that this system works.
For more information about future plans, visit www.tourismtoday.com. I'm Danielle Bodie, and this is Tourism Today.
Step into your favorite super value and quality supermarkets location today for great savings like Par Excellence long grain rice, 5 pounds, $3.79. JBI whole kernel corn, 50 an ounce, 2 for $2.19. Triple B malt tonic, 12 ounce, 99 cents. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, 99 cents per pound. Fresh broccoli bunch, $3.39. No one saves you more. Super value and quality supermarkets.
Marsh Harbor Abaco police seizing a black Glock .40 pistol with a magazine containing 13 live rounds of .40 ammunition after 11 Saturday night when they went to a business on Don McKay Boulevard. The officers initially saw a group of young men standing around a white Honda. A vehicle search led to the discovery of a firearm and ammunition. An investigation's underway. Well, works to soon begin on Disney Cruise Line's Lighthouse Point in South Eleuthera, according to WorldDisneyNews.com. Now that Disney Cruise Line has acquired all the necessary permits, hiring construction workers will now begin. A job fair is tentatively set for March 5th at the Eleuthera Business Hub. Construction's to begin March 2nd. In a February 2022 Disney Cruise Line newsletter, Disney Cruise Line President Thomas Maslom noted that the company remains committed to its guiding principles. That's creating sustainable economic opportunities for Bahamians, protecting and sustaining the site's natural beauty, celebrating Bahamian culture, and helping to strengthen Eleuthera. Well, now it's time for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. We are under cloudy skies, temperature at 72 degrees, the relative humidity 93%, very rich this evening. Southeast winds at 7 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,016.0 millibars, that's 30.01 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 74 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Toll Key, and Marsh Harbor, Abaco, the Berry Islands at 76. Also, Alistown, Bimini, 76 degrees. In Harbor Island, the temperature there is 75. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 76. 76 also in Black Point, Exuma, and Camps Bay, St. Andros. Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 75 degrees. Alistown, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma, all at 77. 77s again in Rycat Island, Clown, Sound Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands, Matchetown, Inagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 79 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. For all areas tonight, the winds are going to be light and variable with very flat seas. The low tide takes place at 14 minutes past midnight. Tomorrow in the northwestern islands, the winds will become westerly at 10 to 15 knots, and then they will eventually push into the northwest behind a weak frontal system, which will go through by afternoon. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide will take place at 6:35 in the morning, with your low tide at 1:01 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands, on Tuesday, light and variable winds once again with flat seas, and on Wednesday, middle of the week, all areas northeast winds behind that front. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet, and the wind speeds around 10 to 15 knots. Tide-wise is going to be high at 7:24 in the morning, with the low tide at 1:47 in the afternoon on Wednesday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. Going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast still ahead.
Hi, my name is Pizarro, and I am the mother of one son, Aiden. He's 2 years old now, and I have been using Mulflex for about a year. First off, it's elastic band waist. He can play well in it with a lot of flexibility. Secondly, it's very affordable. I can buy a case with about 140 diapers for about $38. I absolutely love Mulflex.
Avery's has been around from 1992 in an area far away from most things. In 2018, I picked up the mantle. At the onset I would have taken over, I was connected to Cable Bahamas, and I'm always trying to enhance my Avery's package. And I wanted to expand my customer satisfaction through technology. Everybody comes in and they want to use the Wi-Fi. They want to be able to go live, show off the food and the ambience and the entertainment. So since I've been using the Aero device, my buffering almost went to zero. There's no interruption in that service, which is phenomenal. I would recommend the Aero device to anyone to use it. It works.
If you like a hearty, meaty burger, the A1 Steakhouse King at Burger King Nassau has it all. With flame-grilled beef, lots of bacon, cheese, and crispy onions on a sesame seed bun, the only thing that can top this is the tangy flavor of A1 steak sauce. The Steakhouse King is a meat lover's dream, and with an ice-cold Pepsi and hot fries, it's all you need to fill your day. Get your A1 Steakhouse King as a combo or part of the new King's Feast, only at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
education stakeholders work toward regaining a sense of normalcy for our school staff and students, President of the recently formed Bahamas Educators, Counselors, and Allied Workers Union, Sandra Major, highlights her organization's current focus.
Well, the main focus of our union right now is to make sure that teachers have the concerns met, because at this moment we have a lot of outstanding matters, HR matters, that confirmations, back pay, increments, and teachers become frustrated. See, teachers are willing to work and they're ready to work, but if the ministry and the Department of Education meets us halfway, make sure teachers are satisfied. Teachers are up and ready to work, but they must be comfortable in their school knowing that our concerns, as we're working with you, because our job in the union is to work with the government. We don't want to fight with them. We want to be a partnership, because for education to survive, we have to be partners.
And how's this partnership going?
I am very pleased with the dialogue we're having. Since coming as being formed as a union and meeting with the new Minister of Education, our invitations, they've always extended a hand to us. And we have decided as a union, we must work together. In everything, she's included us. In every dialogue, we've been included. So we're included, and she's showing us that we are important. Then we know to say to you, so are you. We need you to survive, so we can't do it without the other. So we're ready to partner with the Ministry of Education and the Department of Education.
And this partnership works toward one ultimate goal.
Grand Bahama is ready to go back to school face to face. We know that we'll have challenges as we go, but we're willing to face those, work with it, work with education, work with the ministry, and if we work together, I'm sure we can overcome them.
Hungry and looking for something so satisfying? Something to truly tantalize your taste buds? Then make it Charlie's, the home of the #1 cheesesteak in the world. Also serving up a variety of delicious wings, freshly cooked to order under 10 minutes, with 2 locations to serve you. Mall at Marathon, open from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. and the East-West Highway next to Solomon's from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. That's Charlie's, the home of the #1 cheesesteak in the world. 393-3100.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
This is ZNS Total Sports. Welcome to your sports on this Monday. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Bahamas men's national basketball team would split their games in this window of the FIBA AmeriCup qualifiers over in the Dominican Republic. Yesterday, they would fall to the Dominican Republic 90-65. Travis Munnings would lead the way with 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Dwario Miller would finish with 14 as well. The Bahamas would be successful in their first game of the weekend, taking down USPI 86-74. Willis Mackey led the way in that one with 25 points and 10 rebounds. The win would mark the Bahamas' second win in FIBA World Cup qualifying play. The 2-4-2 was represented by Travis Munnings, Michael Thompson, J.R. Cadot, Rashad Davis, Willis Mackey Jr. The remainder of the roster includes Dwario Miller, Dan Knowles, Robert Joseph, Dejon Wildgoose, and Sebastian Gray. Moses Johnson was the team's head coach. In its own finale on Senior Day from the SJB Pavilion, Coach Gillette McPhee-McCowan and the Ole Miss Lady Rebs stood tough for the nation's best at #1 South Carolina, but ultimately came up short, falling 71-57. The Rebels wrapped up the regular season with a 4th-place finish in SEC play. South Carolina utilized a fourth-quarter surge to power past Ole Miss to come away with the victory. Shakira Austin recorded her 9th 20-point performance of the season with 20 points and 7 rebounds. The Rebels wrapped up the regular season with its best finish in conference play since the 1993-1994 season. Will await their next opponent as the #4 seed in the SEC tournament. But he'll continue to fill up the stat sheet for his new team. Buddy Buckets logging 21 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals over 38 minutes of play during the Pacers' 128-107 win over the Boston Celtics. Heal's average is staggering 39.5 minutes per game across 6 contests since being acquired by Indiana. Although quiet from beyond the arc Sunday, Heald has among the greenest of lights in the league, attempting 9.3 triples per game over that same stretch. Even only in a limited sample size, Buddy proving to be a major factor for the Pacers in the 6 games with the team. Buddy averaging 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, all career highs. The Bombs' 3-member team of William McCartney, Jackson McTaggart, and Joel Carroll turned in a thrilling performance at the International Tennis Federation's World Juniors competition, but came up short just of achieving their goal, advancing to the next round. The Bombers fell 2 matches to host Guatemala in the final, losing both singles matches, however winning the doubles. On the girls' side, the girls' team of Sarai Clark, Breanne Ferguson, and Rachel Thompson ended up 6 out of 9 countries, falling to Honduras 3 matches to none in the 5th-6th matchup. Bombers came to the week-long tournament seeded 4th, but after the performance ended up 2nd out of 13 nations. And Bateman Collegiate track stars performing well this weekend. For the Tennessee Lady Vols, Charisma Taylor had a pair of top 3 finishes. Bateman athlete finished 2nd in the women's 60-meter hurdles and a new personal best and a school record of 7.93 seconds. Taylor also competed in the jumps as she was 3rd in the triple jump with a leap of 13.74 meters. Taylor's placement in the hurdles and triple jump, along with her 7th-place finish in the long jump, garnered a team-high 16 points for the Lady Vols. Kentucky sophomore Megan Moss ran the 400 meters at that same meet, finished 12th overall in 53.19 seconds. She would have to win the bronze medal as a part of Kentucky's 4x4 distance medley relay team that would finish in 3rd in a time of 3 minutes, 25.89 seconds. And that's been a look at sports on this Monday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Every journey starts with the first step, and mine starts here. I believed in Tokyo, the belief that I could be, we could be the best. We are drenched in Bahamian pride, no matter where we go. In 5 years, Alive built the Bahamas' best network, delivering faster speeds and stronger connections to all 700 islands and keys. Alive believed that every Bahamian deserved a world-class network and excellent customer service. I am proud to be Director of Speed and Connection.
Tony Miller-Weibo is total class. Look at her go. What a win.
As we continue to improve our lightning-fast, world-class network and connect with art, culture, and the world around us, never stop dreaming and never stop believing.
Best rate, no delays. Best rate, no delays.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delays. Best rate, no delays.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Capo Bahamas Group of Companies is celebrating women in technology. We're taking this opportunity to pause and highlight the leading ladies in information, communication, and technology who are breaking stereotypes and shattering glass ceilings. We hope you'll join us in honoring the tremendous girl power that keeps our community connected.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather on our satellite picture, we can see some cloud mass around the Abacos, Grand Bahama, the Berry Islands, and that could trigger 1 or 2 passing showers in the extreme northwest Bahamas tonight. Here in the capital, we will get some early night sprinkles, and then things should start to clear up as we head towards morning. And tonight, we're going in for patchy clouds with a passing shower early, 69 degrees for your low. And tomorrow, it is going to be partly sunny, high temperature around 80 degrees, and your extended weather forecast. Despite the passage of that front, we're going to give you lots of sunshine during the daytime for the next 7 days, and those nighttime temperatures remaining quite nice. We're going to keep them in the 60s for you right into Friday of this week. Make it slow.
Well, thanks, Basil. And before we end, we want to wish one of our news video editors, Debbie Sears-Roll, a very happy birthday. And a belated happy birthday to our reporter and TV anchor, Lloyd Allen. We hope you both enjoyed your day. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
What you see on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, and programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcasted by this television station. The code is available on IRCA's website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
Colon cancer is the 3rd most common cancer affecting Bahamians. Your risk of developing colon cancer is increased if you have a personal history of colorectal cancer or colon polyps, a family history of colon cancer, or inflammatory bowel diseases such as ulcerative colitis. Other factors that can increase your risk of developing colon cancer are low fiber, high fat diets, a sedentary lifestyle, obesity, smoking, and alcohol. You can take steps to reduce your risk of colon cancer by making specific lifestyle changes. Eat a variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. These foods contain fiber, minerals, vitamins, and antioxidants, which may play a role in cancer prevention. Drink alcohol in moderation or not at all. Do not smoke. Exercise with a goal of getting in at least 30 minutes each day. If you've been inactive, start slowly and gradually build up to 30 minutes. Also, talk to your doctor before starting any exercise program. Maintain a healthy weight. If you're at a healthy weight, maintain it by combining a well-balanced diet with daily exercise. If you need to lose weight, ask your doctor about healthy ways to achieve your goal. Colon cancer screening can also help to prevent colon cancer or lead to its early detection when treatment is most effective. If you're 45 years or older, speak to your doctor about having a colonoscopy or some form of colon cancer screening that may be appropriate for you. I'm Dr. Eugene Marcus Cooper. Pay attention to your health. Get the facts and discuss colon cancer with your physician today.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Nearly 200 countries were represented at Expo 2020 in Dubai, creating the perfect platform for art, music, entertainment, and of course, investment opportunities. On this show, we'll be taking you behind the scenes of Expo 2020 in Dubai, where the Bahamas did not hold back in its representation of this country. This is Up Close, and I'm your host, Jillian Gray.
The journey to Dubai was years in the making. It spanned 3 administrations, first starting under the Christie administration, gaining momentum under the Minnis administration, and brought to fruition under the Davis administration. The mandate was a multi-pronged approach involving government's promotion of the country, the business sector's expertise for entrepreneurial opportunities, cultural exposure by some of the country's best artisans, and the creation of a pavilion designed by UB students that would showcase it all.
Partner up with the Bahamas as we recreate our islands in the form of a pavilion, showcasing everything our country has to offer, from culinary arts and storytelling